Thank you. Well, it's a great honor to be here and to follow my former boss at VMware, Carl Eschenbach, who I have nothing but just a big warm heart for. So tall shoes to fill for sure. I hope you've had a great session so far. You know, I'm here to talk to you a little bit about our unique customers, our customers together and their unique journey that they are embarking upon. Because they're all different, right? Each customer has a unique set of choices to determine what is the path forward for them. They are faced with many complex questions that have an incredible sense of trade-offs between each choice that they might make. So for example, do they start by managing and focusing their investments on what they have today, their operations today? Or do they think about tomorrow? And every dollar they spend on investing in their future is a dollar they're not putting in how they're running their operations today. Those can have very significant consequences. Should they modernize their data center? Should they invest in the stack and the technologies that are running their on-premises environments? Or should they really think about extending to the public cloud? And if they are going to do that, how do they do that in a way that leverages their investments in their current data center? Well, maybe they really need to think about embracing public clouds in a big way and exit the data center world and completely move workloads into not just a public cloud, but potentially multiple clouds. How would they do that in a seamless way? How would they manage in that new context? So when it comes to thinking about all these choices, they also have to think about security. Because at the end of the day, any of these paths, if they don't think about security probably very differently, it's going to be all for naught. So the good news is that our customers are faced with more choices than they've probably ever had before. That's the upside. The challenge is that with choice comes complexity. And these are the things that we can help them navigate. Because if you think about what the future holds, they could find themselves in situations where they have incredible operational silos, teams that are purpose-built to work with certain environments. They could end up with narrow skill sets and specialized skill sets that don't easily transfer over to other environments. So can you imagine? Your workloads are distributed in multiple ways, but you have these teams that are kind of boxed into a sandbox in their skills and capabilities. They have to think very differently about security because they could have workloads running in so many different environments. They are spreading their risk considerably further. Unknown places, unknown architectures. They could lose their single pane of glass into how is their operation running. Do they really know where these workloads are? Do they really know all of the investments and how they are being distributed? Do they have control of their costs, of their resources? And the nature of applications is only increasing in complexity. Cloud apps and microservices and containers, this is changing the architecture of applications, and that complexity is now landing on the shoulders of our IT and technology organizations. So all of this complexity, you know, what is IT doing about this? How are they helping their organizations navigate, and what is our role in helping them through that? Well, they're doing a lot, frankly. They are modernizing their data centers. They're thinking very much about what can they do to make their data centers more agile? How do they make them more like a cloud internally? There are many workloads that are never going to leave their data center. How do they consider making those applications more cloud-like? They are extending to the public cloud, and they're thinking very intentionally about how do they capitalize on all the benefits the public cloud offers them, but do that in a seamless way that leverages the investments they've made in their data center. They are delivering SaaS applications to their business. As a CMO, I'm a huge consumer of SaaS applications, and there's many like me. So they are having to deliver that, but deliver it with security and governance, make sure data is protected. They are building applications for the cloud native in the cloud environment. So they're doing that too. They're thinking about security across all of these things. So the bottom line is IT has their plate very, very full. Now, most of our customers are thinking about cloud in some very simple forms. They're thinking about a cloud strategy that is both hybrid cloud, how do I extend to the public cloud, as well as native cloud. And native cloud would be really born in the cloud era, building applications natively on cloud environments. So we know customers talk about multiple clouds. In fact, there's many surveys out there that will tell you, I've got 3 public clouds. We see surveys saying there'll be 4, 5, literally 6, 7 different public clouds in my portfolio of cloud services. Now, just because our customers have multiple clouds, that does not mean that they have a multi-cloud strategy. That's a different thing. When you think about living in a multi-cloud world, you are thinking about exponential complexity. With visibility, on one hand, you have this incredible speed, and you can really put workloads out in the cloud very quickly, but at the same time, that speed can reduce your visibility, the transparency by which you can see where all these workloads are. You have this easy ability to provision applications, but you also can get cloud sprawl, so an inefficient over-provisioning of your applications. We've already talked about security and compliance. That becomes even more complicated. What about performance? Not every cloud is architected the same, so you have inconsistencies in the SLAs from one cloud to the next. And when we talk about diversity and scale, well, if we're talking about diversity and diversifying my stock portfolio, that's a really good thing. But when you're talking about diverse architectures, that's a little bit trickier. Scale, we love scale. We love the power that cloud brings us relative to scale. Unmanaged scale, unleashed scale can create just as many challenges as it does opportunities. And then you exacerbate this by the fact that we're sitting on multiple different clouds. So the reality here is it's complex, and it's going to be a challenge for our customers, and therein lies opportunity for us. VMware is very focused on helping our customers deliver consistent operations across any cloud. That means really ensuring that you have cost and resource transparency and management, that you have common security and governance regardless of the underlying cloud architecture, and that you have deep intelligence and analytics into the applications and the workloads regardless of where they are running, so that you can optimize the performance of those workloads and get the best value from the environments in which they are running. And we do this through our portfolio of VMware Cloud Health. Now, we think the most important thing, however, is that your journey to the multi-cloud really starts with a hybrid cloud. And that's the most important starting point that we can help all of our customers. And Wes, we defined a private cloud. When we think about hybrid cloud, what we're talking about is a common infrastructure, consistent operations from your private cloud to your public cloud, and inclusive of your edge environments. And I think that's a whole new domain that we need to start thinking about. It's not just private to public. You've got to think about the edge and the explosion that is happening at the edge. But a consistent infrastructure that goes across all of those environments. That will allow you to do some really unique, powerful things with our customers. And if we can help them navigate this, I think we're going to show them some tremendous value. So let's talk about this in a bit more depth. VMware offers the VMware Cloud Foundation, which is integrated compute, storage, networking, management, and automation. And when you do that, when you have a full stack of compute, storage, network, and automation, and you run it in your private cloud and extend that to your public cloud, what that enables customers to do is they can run any application anywhere without refactoring. That's the most important thing. Many times moving a workload requires extensive refactoring of applications. But if you're using consistent infrastructure across these environments, you get the benefit of basically running those workloads in the environment you want without retooling the application. It also means that IT can leverage the same skill sets and tools that they've been using in their data center, and they can now use those in workloads and manage workloads that are in different environments, regardless of the underlying architecture. And it also gives them a common framework by which they can protect those workloads. And the same way they're protecting things on premises in their data centers are going to be the same ways that they can do that now with those workloads as they run in very different environments. So VMware's Cloud Foundation gives you that integrated approach so you have consistent both operations and infrastructure. The leader in private cloud 2 years ago took a very, very bold step and did something the industry never would have expected. We partnered with Amazon in a deep, meaningful, really industry-changing partnership. And I'm going to introduce your next speaker soon from Amazon. But before I do that, let me just tell you a little bit about this. First of all, I think nobody would have predicted that these two great companies would have come together as partners. But we did, and we disrupted the industry, and some really amazing things have happened since then. This started about 2.5 years ago. The two companies have hundreds of engineers working jointly on a leading hybrid cloud solution that takes the VMware full stack and runs it bare metal in the Amazon data centers. VMware and Amazon have built a joint solution. It's called the VMware Cloud on AWS. It runs natively in most of, some 500,000 enterprise customers today, and it runs natively on bare metal on Amazon's data centers. We are committed to being in all data centers around the world where Amazon has a presence. I think we're in some 15, 17 regions today. So we have hundreds and hundreds of joint customers, big names. It's been a very successful offering, and it's a true partnership. And it gives customers some incredible flexibility in extending the value of their on-premise data center. How do you monetize this opportunity? How do you make money in this multi-cloud era? And what is the relationship with VMware? So there's 3 kind of main focus areas that we can jointly go to market and monetize the incredible opportunity before us. First, it's amazing when you talk about hybrid cloud or multi-cloud, how much opportunity there still is in the on-premises world, in the data center, in modernizing the data center. There is a wealth of opportunity to help customers get more out of their data center investments, to optimize the data centers and ensure they can run all the new workloads that they're craving, like containers and Kubernetes in their data center. And that's a whole body of work with lots of opportunity. The second main opportunity is you may be interested in becoming a certified VMware Cloud Verified Partner, which says you have been certified across the entire infrastructure stack. You want to run that in your data center, be a service provider, many of you are, but now with this certification, you can be in a very unique position to provide a hybrid cloud connectivity to all the VMware install base. Another great opportunity. But maybe you don't want to run your own data center. Maybe that's not part of your play, but you want to be very close to all this cloud workload and migration. You can be a managed service provider. You can resell some of these services, and you can add value-added services on top. Customers need a lot of help figuring out their portfolios and how they're going to think about their application stack as they think about these different environments, and there really is no shortage of opportunity as you think about adding value-added services on top of the core hybrid cloud services.